Discipline without punishment. We are all responsible adults and can manage ourselves to be positive and highly productive team members. Our new discipline process has been developed to be more positive and places the responsibility of correcting disciplinary issues on the team member, not the manager. Disciplinary issues fall into one of three categories: attendance, performance, or conduct and behavior. Discipline without punishment is broken up into three different steps. Step number 1. Informal transactions that are positive in nature. 3 parts. Number 1. Positive contacts. This is informal recognition done by all members of management. These are regular ongoing elements of any supervisor's job. Recognizing good performance through positive reinforcement. If a person does something and discovers that the result or consequence is positive, pleasant, rewarding, desirable, the person is likely to do it again. If a person does something and discovers the consequence is negative, unpleasant, distasteful, punishing, the person will quickly stop doing that thing. If a person does something and discovers there are no consequences, nothing positive or negative happens, that person will eventually stop doing that thing. When is recognition appropriate? When a team member does something that goes above and beyond the call of duty. When a team member has significantly improved his or her performance. The team member hasn't done anything particularly special or outstanding. They've simply been a solid performer, meeting all of the company's expectations over a long period of time. Look to things like attendance to see if there's an opportunity to recognize for above-average attendance. Guidelines for effective recognition. Do it often and as soon as possible after a qualifying event. Tailor recognition, positive contact, to the person, public versus private, depending on the team member's preference. Be proportionate. Balance is vital. Think small. Don't wait until a team member has performed perfectly to provide recognition. Recognition tools that have provided great success to managers. Assign the team member a more desirable job or project. Give the team member an advance copy of a new company brochure or advertisement. Buy her a cup of coffee or take her to lunch. Introduce him to a visitor and explain how his work contributes to the success of the department as a whole. Performance improvement discussions. Types of problems. All problems of human performance fall into one of three categories: attendance, performance, behavior, or conduct. First, to start the problem-solving process, sort the problem you have with a team member into one of the three categories. Second, realize that each of the categories are mutually exclusive. You can have a performance issue without an attendance issue. What about attitude? It falls into the behavior and conduct category. Making problem definitions specific. Generalizations are not helpful in getting team members to understand the exact gap between actual performance and desired performance. To overcome generalizing or being judgmental, ask the question, what do I know for sure? Examples of actual performance concerns. A team member works on low-priority job tasks when she could be assisting others with much more important parts of their job. A team member does only those tasks that are specifically assigned. The team member says, "I don't need anyone's help," when the manager asks a fellow team member to work with her on a minor project. Examples of desired performance. Team members demonstrate a spirit of cooperation, as shown by not monopolizing time during a team meeting. The team member assists others when they ask for help or politely explains why she can't at that time. A team member asks coworkers for assistance in her projects to demonstrate that others are also members of the team. Determining the cause. Once the gap between desired and actual performance has been clearly identified, the next step is to determine why the team member isn't doing the job properly. The easiest way to determine the actual cause is to ask the question, could he do the job properly if his life depended on it? If the answer is no, we're probably looking at a deficiency in knowledge. Some kind of training is probably required. If the answer is yes, we're dealing with a deficiency in execution. Remove obstacles, provide feedback, and arrange appropriate consequences. The goal of a performance improvement conversation is to get the team member to agree to solve a concern or problem they're causing and to return to a fully acceptable performance so the employment relationship can be saved. By getting the team members' agreement to correct the situation, the odds that an actual correction will result increase. If the problem continues, the next discussion will concentrate on the continuing problem, but also on the team members' failure to live up to the agreement they previously made. Before scheduling the discussion, it's important to fully prepare using the manager's Discipline Without Punishment preparation tool. This tool will help you anticipate any questions or difficulties that may arise. You should also take the time to discuss the issue with another member of management or HR prior to sitting down with a team member. To be fully prepared, write a short summary of the essential information needed in the meeting. The statements should be brief and to the point. Basic issue, overall concern. A short summary can be written under the overall concern area. Be sure to include specific statements of actual performance and desired performance. This is the most important part of the written summary. Write in simple, clear, and unarguable terms exactly what the performance expectation is and how the team member is failing to meet that expectation. Examples: attendance. The desired performance is for the team member to arrive at work on time every day. The actual performance is that on May 5th, 11th, 22nd, and 26th, Joe reported for work more than 20 minutes late. Behavior or conduct. The desired performance is that the team member speaks to and treats other team members with the same level of respect as the manager or guests. The actual performance is that the team member speaks down to other team members. Impact. A summary of the good business reasons why the problem needs to be solved. Making a list of the effects of the problem helps the team member understand why what he is doing is a problem. It also helps to get the agreement of the team member to solve the problem. Make a list of 3 to 6 good business reasons why a problem must be solved. Consider the impact of the situation on fellow team members, guests, the culture of the company, the perceptions of others, and the effects on the manager. Likely consequences. One consequence that will always appear on the list will be further disciplinary action up to and including discharge. Team members may not always look at this as a serious consequence. They may feel it more of a threat than the manager actually following through with it. If you have a difficult team member who refuses to correct an issue once it's been brought to their attention, the likely outcomes are being denied a salary increase, promotional opportunity, being subjected to closer supervision, and assigned to less desirable tasks. 5 classic questions. Lastly, answering the 5 classic questions will determine if you can proceed with the disciplinary discussion. If you answer no to any one or more of these questions, the disciplinary action may not be justified. Reviewing these questions and getting affirmative answers to each one assures that you're on solid ground in taking the action you have planned. Even more importantly, if we are ever challenged and we can demonstrate that all managers use these criteria before taking action, our defensibility of whatever action is taken greatly increases. These are the 5 classic questions a manager should ask before he or she can legitimately say, "I've done everything possible to support this team member." Number 1, clarify expectations. A. Can the team member explain what's expected of them? B. Does the team member understand the difference between desired performance and actual performance? Number 2, provide training. A. Does the team member have the knowledge and skills needed to do the job? B. Has the team member received the necessary training? Number 3, arrange appropriate consequences. A. What happens to the team member when he or she performs properly? What happens to the team member when he or she does not perform properly? B. Does doing the job incorrectly produce unpleasant consequences? Number 4. Provide feedback. A. How does the team member know what's expected? B. How does the team member know how well or how poorly he or she is doing? Number 5. Remove obstacles. A. Is the team member receiving conflicting messages or instructions? B. Does the team member have the time, the tools, the equipment, the authority, and the support necessary to do the job correctly? After satisfactorily answering these questions, the manager will have met his or her responsibility to the team member. The burden now shifts to the team member, and the manager no longer has to wrestle with, was there anything else I could have or should have done? Performance improvement discussion number 1. Informal counseling done by management after discussing the situation with the next level of management and the HR department. The manager makes a note of the date and the subject of the discussion. If the situation does not improve, the manager has another performance improvement discussion. Performance improvement discussion number 2. Informal counseling done by management after discussing the situation with the next level of management and the HR department. The manager makes a note of the date and the subject of the discussion. This must be for the same reason the first performance improvement discussion occurred. If another occurrence takes place, the next step is a formal reminder of the first discussion. Any informal counseling subject that involves the safety of guests and team members may remain in the file permanently.
You have completed this section. You have up to 10 minutes before the system logs you out. Press play to continue.